This time, it's all about last train. Are you ready to face the fear? From my house to the office, it takes about 30 minutes by a small private railway train. It might be unthinkable in the city, but I usually get to sit down both on my way to work and on my way home. On that train ride home, I experienced a creepy incident. That day, I had gone out for drinks at the invitation of my department head and barely made the last train before midnight. Since a taxi home would cost just under $100, I was relieved to have caught the train and sat down in my seat. In the countryside, even the last train is quiet. It seemed I was the only one in the car. Stretching my legs out in front of me, I quickly dozed off due to the alcohol. I'm not sure how much time had passed when I was awakened by a soft voice. The giggling sounded like that of a small child and a young mother. Child. We've taken this train a lot, haven't we? Mother. Yes, we have. Ken, you loved trains. Child. Yeah, going to Hollow Circle Station was so much fun. Mother. I wish I could have taken you to Tokyo Station or one of the big Japan Railways stations. Child. Yeah, I wanted to ride on a night train at least once. Half asleep, I listened to the conversation between the child and mother. Given the layout with seats for four, I couldn't see them, but they sounded quite close, perhaps in a nearby seat. I wondered if they had boarded at some intermediate station. Mother. Ken, I couldn't take you on Japan Railways much. The mention of Japan Railways sounded odd to me. Hadn't it been over 15 years since it changed from the National Railways? As I mulled this over, I started to wake up fully. Leaning forward from my seat to look around, I saw no sign of the child and mother. Could they be sitting in a blind spot from where I was? While I pondered this, the train reached the next station, leaving without anyone getting on or off. As I began to drift off again, the hushed voices of the child and mother returned as if waiting for my drowsiness. Mother. Ken, were you scared then? Child. No, Mom was with me. I wasn't scared at all. Mother. But it must have hurt. Child. I don't know. But I was on my favorite train, so it was okay. Mother. Yes, that's right. We chose this blue train that you like. Child. We're about to pass that crossing. The child's excited voice rang out. I absent-mindedly looked out the window to see the faint glow of a crossing's red signals amidst the fields beyond a curve. There seemed to be figures of a child and mother standing at the crossing, appearing to duck under the lowering barriers. As the train applied a sudden brake with a screech, a dull thud was transmitted. Simultaneously, a red splatter hit the window of my seat. Feeling as though all the blood had drained from my body, I instinctively ran towards the door. But, as I stood up, I realized the train was running as usual. Only my heart pounded furiously. Was it a dream? Standing up gave me a moment to survey the car again, but still, nobody was there. Perhaps the conversation I'd been hearing from the child and mother was also part of a dream. Thinking this, I tried to calm myself, feeling foolish for being scared when I was merely alone in the carriage. This is the last stop. The train announcement played, and the train finally began to slow down. I grabbed my coat and bag, heading towards the exit. As the platform lights came into view, I distinctly felt someone's presence behind me, along with the sound of dripping water. Looking up, the reflection of a person behind me caught my eye, causing me to drop what I was holding and collapse in fright. Reflected in the glass was a young mother holding a child about 5 years old. The mother's left arm was missing from the elbow down, and her chest was torn open, dripping blood. The child in her right arm was crushed on one side, almost reduced to a red lump of flesh. The child, with one remaining eye, stared straight at me. I don't remember much after that. A station attendant found me collapsed and dragged me out, offering me a cold glass of water in the office. I could not bring myself to ask the attendant about what happened on the train. The thought of confirming a suicide by jumping in front of the train was too disturbing. Phew, what did you think of this story? Hearing the voices of spirits, seeing the deceased appear, and the usual train ride turning into such a terrifying place. Do you take the train too? Maybe the person sitting next to you might be. Well, just kidding. Good night, and be careful on your way home.